Yeah, man. All right, so boom, we back at it. No Days Off podcast, man. We back at it on the fly. Cuz hit me up like, man, it's time for people to know what's going on, which I think they already know, but it's time to put a voice on it. So today we're here with Aaron J. Smith, man, author of Youngsters to Young Stars.
Youngsters to Young Stars.
Let me get it right, man. My fault.
Yes, sir.
So before we get into it, man, please let them know a little bit more about who you are.
Man, I'm just a kid from Indianapolis, Indiana. Who's done. I got a saying, it's like I'm the man from here to Japan, from the Golden Gate to the Frozen State, from the Big Apple to the Pineapple, man. I done did it all, man. But that's just one part of who I am, right? So I'm just a pimp, man. You know what I mean? But I done switched it up from putting it in my pocket to professional and motivating people.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So before you had the language for purpose, I guess, and I need some great questions, right? So who were you, right? Who were you before writing the book? I heard you talk about the PIMP. Heard you talk about all this. Like, what does that look like before the book, right? What was the hustle? What was the grind? What was the motivation?
I love it, cuz. I love it. Just a serial entrepreneur, right? You know what I'm saying? I'm 30 years for working for myself, right? You know what I mean? And I ain't missed a day, right? I ain't got no flags on my background. You feel me?
Yes, sir.
So the game been good to me, man. But growing up, man, I went to 4 different high schools, so I was able to mix and blend, and and get in where I fit in. And I've just been blessed to surround myself with different people, different networks, so where I could maneuver, right, and be in a lot of different spaces and in different places that allowed me to stay an entrepreneur, right? I don't like to brag and boast about that lifestyle because you know what I mean. It is a lifestyle that comes with a lot of consequences, right? But like I said, I've been blessed and fortunate enough to make it through.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? So as I made it through, it's like, okay, how can I give back? And I've always worked with kids. I've always given back. Since I was 18, I've been volunteering with kids. Shout out to Regina Marsh at Forest Mental Mental Service Center.
Yeah. I
started off with her. I ended up working at the boys' school in Pendleton for a while, you know what I mean? And that's what really motivated me to write the book. Yeah. Because I'm like, man,
I'm about to check this camera and make sure it's on you well, but talk a little bit more about Pendleton, right? Because I'm sure through a lot of it, you actually was working with these guys.
Oh, man.
You know what I mean? So let's talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, man. Pendleton was something else, man. By being in Pendleton, Indiana, a lot of the kids came from Indianapolis, right? But a lot of the staff was from like Muncie, Anderson, Fortville area, right? So there was a gap, you know what I'm saying, between staff and the kids, because so the staff doesn't understand the kid, right? Because they're not from our area. So when I ended up working there, I was able to let the staff understand that they were just like these kids, right? I don't care if you grew up in Anderson or Compton, California. We all grew up kind of the same. We all seen the same experiences. We all seen the fight in school, right? We all seen, drugs. We all went to parties, right? So he's like, don't forget that you could have been this kid that's locked up right now. You know what I mean? Maybe the only difference is your mama might knew the sheriff, right? In a smaller community, right? You know what I mean? And so, this was how I got the book going, because I'm like, man, how can I help the conversation start, right? Because you can't help anybody if you can't communicate. So the book came about from Pendleton, just watching these kids and staff not be able to intertwine, right? But what's so crazy was that the kids didn't even realize, even when I was up in Pendleton and I was doing my thing, right? I had staff in Pendleton. I would go to work, man, you know what I'm saying, with a package, right? Drop the package off I pull up at 6. The people getting off at 6. So I work 6 to 6. I work 6 in the afternoon to 6 in the morning, right? So when I
call them doubles.
I know, but it's straight shift.
Okay.
So a straight 12-hour shift. But what was dope about it was, like I said, I would be pulling into the lot. The other staff would be getting off. They would go in my car, get whatever package they need, and they would go home and do what they little 1-2. And then in the morning when they came into work, they'd drop my little bread off in the car when I got off of work. Yeah. So even and I was letting the kids know. So even and at the time we had the club Sharkies jumping on Pendleton Pike. You know what I mean? So I tell people all the time, you gotta flex more than one muscle on your hustle, right? And you never know who gets down and who doesn't get down, man. You know what I mean? That's the thing about what I've noticed in life is like, man, ain't nobody perfect.
No, for sure.
Everybody got a vice, you know what I'm saying? And so that's how I'm able to move like I move, man, because I let people be themselves, right? But I be myself too. You know, so we gonna get it. But yeah, Pendleton was cool, and I start realizing also that the common denominator for a lot of kids being locked up was no father figure, right?
Yeah.
No uncle, no big homie, none of that, right? So it's like, okay, how can I have conversations with 400 or 500 kids a day, which I would do, right? They call me the Hallmark greeter. When I came into the building, man, every kid want to dap up with me, right? You know what I mean? Because I'm going against the grain, right? I'm gonna rock my beard, right?
I think that's a gift too that a lot of people don't have. Cause you know I'll be out places and they be like, "Man, how you get such and such?" It's like sometimes I really don't know what I did. I just say I treat them like they're human. That's what I did. You know what I mean? Just
The energy, like what they say, energy, right?
It is energy, man.
It comes to your direction.
that's tough. So before we get into the book, I have one more question I was looking over. What did you have to stop doing that most people aren't willing to let go of to start transitioning to this art theory?
Man.
Because you know we talk about stuff like this a lot.
Yeah.
And we're gonna do this, and I'm gonna show. Was there things that you had to let go?
Oh man, can't catch nothing when your hands are full, right? So you gotta let some things go, and the lifestyle is what I had to let go, right? You know, but because you know now you're shaking hands and kissing babies and campaigning, right? You know, meeting the mayor and the chief of police and all that. You can't also be double dipping no more, right? And that was the hardest thing in the world for me, right? To go, 25, 30 years, in a fast lane to going into a lane that you're planting seeds that you got to watch grow that takes time to grow, right? I'm used to instant gratification, right? Club promote, instant gratification, right? You know what I mean? Friday night, you put your money, you put your money in on Monday to book everything, get the flyers, everything, Friday, you get your money back. You know if you won or lost immediately, right?
Immediately.
But in legitimate business, it takes time, right? And then so that was the hardest thing for me was putting things putting things down that was fast and picking up these things that are slow, right? And but slow money better than no money, and they say slow motion better than no motion,
For real.
right? Because when you're going fast, they say it don't last or you're gonna crash, right? You know what I mean? So
And it's almost true. Because if you don't know where you're going at one point,
that too.
you know what I mean? Like,
Hey,
you're
man.
just gonna crash out or whatever the words we like to use now.
Yeah.
But, you get lost.
Yeah, get lost in the sauce. You know what I'm saying? But everybody want to be a boss, right? But they don't know what it costs. You feel me? It ain't easy. But hey, man, this game and this lifestyle is not easy. Now we might make it look easy.
Yeah, like even doing this right now.
Right, even this.
It looks, but the thought to get here, the people, the setup.
Talk about it, cuz.
Let's even talk about like the room we're in. You know what I mean? It took 5 years for a person to look like us to feel comfortable to do this.
Wow.
In this space.
Wow.
Not to be funny, but it was a white guy downstairs that cracked the joke. Like, I'm like, yeah, this was the office that you and everybody else, but I had to say, no.
That part.
You know what I mean? Y'all
did
wouldn't
say
be
that.
here. We didn't make this comfortable, and you can laugh. He probably never interview me again for making me look bad if I am. But it's okay. I already got my shine, and I want people like that to know, like, you're not opening the door for us. We're just learning how to use the resources around us.
That part.
You know what I mean? Like,
that part.
and that's not taken away from nobody, but there's
Right.
certain people that like to
Yeah.
over people. So
That's
yeah,
right.
I just wanted to add that in there, man. But enough about that. I want to ask about how did you get to the title of the book, right? And that I got more questions.
It's
but,
all good.
But I don't want to jump too much. But we
Yeah.
talked about
That's
you,
right.
right?
That's
Now
right.
let's get into this. How did we get to this title?
Why too wild, man? Youngsters to young stars, right?
Well, can I read?
Go
what
ahead.
what
Talk about it. Yeah.
All right. So first, he just told y'all the name. So youth. Why? Youth. You understood. N. Needing. G. Game. S. Starts. T. Turning. A. Around. R. Race. And standard. So that's the young stars. I probably did
Acronym.
that quick. So if you slow it down.
Yeah. Youth understood needing game starts turning around race standards, right?
Yep.
And that's how I pop it when I first come into the room with the kids. I say when they read the front cover, I ask them, "What does that mean to you?" You know what I mean? What does game mean to you, right? And our era we knew what game meant, right?
Mhm.
But for them, they still don't really understand what game is, right? So I break it down. GAME,
What is game?
right?
To them, I know. I think because I came under your wing. But can you give us what game is to the Y end of today's? Because you teaching, like you're not just having a conversation with
Yeah,
your
that's
nephew
right,
and with
that's right,
cousins.
that's
You're
right.
having a conversation
With
with.
kids, I'm pulling up to class, right?
So-
I got 6 period.
Before you get into that, let us know how they.
Man, to them, game is actually a game. right? Like a video
Fortnite,
game.
2K, Xbox.
Yeah, so when I break it down, I'm like, man, it's knowledge, right? It's not. I say it's knowledge you can't get from college, right? You know what I'm saying? You know, and they be like, man, what? And I be like, yeah, man, your game is GA&Me, general amount money earned.
I just learned.
However you make your money, that's your game.
Say that one
right?
more time.
General amount money earned.
I hope y'all heard
Catch
and
it,
learned
man.
too.
You know, like the pastor say, you catch that on the way home, right?
I wish I had the message.
That part, you know what I'm saying? Message. Right, man. So however you making your money, that's your game, bro. You know what I mean? The rap game, right? Basketball game, the dope game, right? We always put game behind it, right? So so when I pop it like that to me, like, oh, okay, wisdom, knowledge, right? You know what I mean? How you gonna, but do you understand? Right, that's why I said they understood. You know, you got to understand that you need game, right? You know what I mean? Like you need somebody that's gonna teach you, and reach you, right? But kids can't learn from people they don't like, right? So they gotta like you, right? So when I pull up, man, you know what I mean? And these other people be talking to the kids and whatever, man. And I appreciate them doing what they doing, you know what I mean? Because they giving back, and you know what I'm saying? And we need that as a community. We need to give back. But what you say, man, the kid forgets tomorrow. Matter of fact, an hour you leave, right? You know what I mean? But what I say to them, it sticks with them, right? Because, I'm reaching them in a way that
touched something that we talked about earlier. I think this is a good time to, how can I say this right? We had a conversation before we jumped on here. And this is not a call out to anybody, but I think this is a time where the importance of who said, right? So how can we get people involved to support this book, to push this book, to maybe have it at their business? You know what I mean? I don't know if you want to call anybody out or speak on how, when, or what, but I think from what I heard and what we talked about, this is a good time to.
I like that.
Let's clear the air on some of the networks that we actually work in, how they can, like, this is not just to help Aaron's personal lifestyle, right? It's like, he summed all of it up, all these adults, all these women, all these men that he helped, and it's like, oh, the youth need it. And with that being said, I feel like if you want to expound on some of these folks can help that, help their community.
Help the journey. Yes. Help the community, right? Help us bring a certain standard back to the black community, right? That's what it's about. It's about getting a standard again, right? Hey, man, hold the door open for that lady when you walk in the mall, right? Basic stuff like that.
Let me make sure this ain't in your face, man. It might get real. Let's put it over here so it ain't in your face.
We've lost the basic standards of how we secure yourself as black men, right? And the fact of the matter is, man, kids can't read. And that's just period, point blank. Kids can't read. And if they can't read, then half of them can't comprehend what they reading, right? But hell, I didn't care about learning about Abraham Lincoln either. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to read about that. I don't want to read that, right? So I said, let me give them something that could keep their attention, right? So I wrote the book in the language that they can understand, right? You know what I mean? And so and then, have a question at the end of each day. I got it in day form instead of chapter form, right? Read one day, stop. Do the little questions. The questions is to see if you comprehended what you read, right? It's not a right or wrong answer because the book is opinion based.
Yes, sir.
So these are just my opinions, right? This ain't factual, or it's factual for my life, but it's opinion based, right? So your opinion might be different from mine, but so now can we have a disagreement without arguing? Right? So that's what I'm trying to teach the kids how to do.
How to debate,
right?
We used to laugh at that, but now that it's not in the systems no more.
You got to have that. So, you got to have courageous conversation instead of bold violence. Yep. Man, it's easy to pick the gun up, you know what I'm saying? But once again, 95% of black men who are killed by a black man, right? You know what I mean? So it's us hurting us. So it's like, okay, how could we help us, right? Like FUBU, for us, by us, right? So I've been running around all year, working with the kids, getting the program going and everything. And I went so hard I won Philanthropist of the Year 2025, but like I told him when I got there.
Congrats on that, too.
Man,
appreciate text
it,
wifey real quick.
Appreciate it, man.
Congrats on that.
Yeah, that's why I told him when I got it. I said, thank you. But I said, most philanthropists donate money, right? You know what I mean? I'm not donating money. I'm donating time. But time is what? Time is money, right? Right? So, you know what I mean? As I'm donating time, I'm losing money in another direction, right? But it's okay, right? Because it feels good to be recognized, right? We've been on the news, we've been in the paper, we getting awards and stuff. But it's like, okay, how can I branch out more, right? It takes funding, right? It just takes funding, bro. And and I'm not with going to the government, playing the politic game and trying to open up. Man, people don't understand the grant thing is crazy, man. If you get a grant for, let's say you get your grant funding for food, They give you $5,000, man, for an event to throw food. It only ended up costing you $3,500. You got $1,500 left. Say you spend the other $1,500 on T-shirts or something else for that event, right? You get in trouble for that.
You get in trouble.
You get in trouble for that, right? You know what I'm saying? It's like, hey man, I don't need to open up I ain't never dealt with the banks anyway. You know what I'm saying? I don't want you in my pocket, no way. You know what I mean? So we gotta help us, right? So I'm like, okay, got the website up. I got a few sponsors last year, but it's like we need more sponsors. Why I need more sponsors, right? Mm-hmm. $250 gives you sponsorship, right? $250 buys you $12, right? $12 is a basketball team.
I was about to say how you about to answer for. I was about to say how does that stretch? You feel me? Because I think we live in a time now. Volunteer used to be like, hey, I'm having this event. We need volunteers, and the volunteers show up, and either they just fill in, or you kind of, we need you over here, we need you here, but they show up. Now, when people want to volunteer to give, we got to give them what time to show up, what kind of clothes to wear. If they need gloves, what time lunch is, and all things like that. So with me saying that, with their money, how does people be involved in Y2Y, right? Because they're not only buying books, they're buying into a community, I feel like.
There it is.
That's if your business need to be shared. Once again, he's highlighting a lot of young folks that could probably help or hurt your business in the future. Yeah. You know what I mean? So just think about it in that way. And sorry to cut you off again. As you explained, I'm like, dang, this is real. How can we all be involved to push this message, you know what I mean?
And what's crazy is, man, like you're in the book, right? A lot of people from Indianapolis is in the book, right? Because a lot of the stories that's in the book is real life stories, right? I'm dropping real names.
I think you should name some of the people in there, so if they see this and haven't read it, it's time to pick it up so you can see how important you was in this man's life and how you can go into somebody else. But I think you should, call some people out and put the pressure on you. We pod, right? There's no days, and this is all love. What I mean? This is not a talk. This is now us expressing. Let's make our network work, right?
There it is.
It's the network.
It's the network.
It's our network. It's the network. Let's work.
And that's it. That's all I want to do, right? Yeah. I'm not really those social media type guy. Like I said, I'm coming from other lanes where I've never had social media, right? You know what I mean? I don't understand if you really in that lifestyle, you can't really have a social media. If you do, you stupid, right? You know what I mean?
They're gonna catch you one time, you slip up a girl.
That's it, right? So I've never had social media. So now that I'm trying to, have a little social media, it's like, how do I connect with all the people that I actually know, right? So, if you know me, act like you know me, right? You know what I mean? And help me help us. You feel me? I'm not asking for no handouts. What I'm asking for is people to join a new motion, right? You know what I mean? We did the other motion, and we did it well, man. We cowabunga that thing. We surfed that wave stupid, right? But now let's hop another wave, right? Like I said, once again, I can't quit stressing it, man. Kids can't read. They cannot read, bruh. You know what I mean? And so, we had to play our part, right? So if you getting money, right? I know when I was getting money, growing up and all that, we took care of our neighborhood. The kids in the neighborhood got taken care of, right? And it goes beyond, hey man, you giving coats out, backpacks out, doing all that back to school and Christmas. Man, that's great. I get it. It makes you feel good in the heart. You are doing something, right? But the kid is not gonna remember you, right? It just is what it is, But like with this program, it's 20 days, man. Man, I sit and deal with these kids for 20 days. That's a month, right? So it's not a space or a place I can't go where a kid's not running up to me, hey, what's going on here, or love, or whatever they calling me, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm actually making a constant connection, right? And then the people that's part of the squad, like Teddy, he shows up to the programs, right? I got other figures in the community who, Murdoch, Baby Dookie now go sliding through, Councilman Keith Graves, my boy Emil from
right?
From Elevate, you know what I'm saying?
Elevate, that's what
you know what I'm saying? Like, my program, we bring principals in, you know what I'm saying? Police officers, because we got network.
Is there anybody that you want to partner with? I don't think I got to ask you that, or like, need to have this book in their hand. Do you see anybody that's moving that can? I wouldn't even say probably, because a lot of us are doing. Let me get it right. We don't really need each other, right? We can all do it on our own.
That's right.
But to make this easier on ourselves, are there anybody that you look? Because you dropped some good names, Councilman Graves, Dookie, all them, but myself, others. But is there anybody else that you're looking forward to work with in the future? Because I know you work with I know you work with promoters, myself, Rob, Cam, Leon, you know, a lot of us different. So is there anybody that you like looking forward to in 2026, 27 to say, either I'm gonna get this book in your hand or maybe read this or, you know, whatever?
Yeah, I mean, I love it, man. You know, I would love to get a hold of, you know, the professional athletes. You know what I mean? Because they got a lot of.
Is there anybody you single out? Like,
you know, if we can get Tyrese, let's get him. You know what I mean? I see his dad all the time, but Tyrese, man, how at us, man? Because
I see you bulking up too. You probably need security no more.
Yeah,
so
exactly. Matter of fact, it's crazy. His security guard, he got a personal security guard, man. OG, I forget his name. I worked with him over the summer at a summer camp, and he was gonna try to link me up with Tyrese, but Tyrese got hurt and shit, right? But we need to get, you know, because this thing, it's a book, bruh. So this thing is not like. When I created it, I just didn't want to have to run a program, right? I made this for your program to have a curriculum for an hour, right? I was going around, I was seeing all these kids doing nothing. You know, I go to the Boys and Girls Club, they ain't doing nothing. I go here to the after school program, they're not doing nothing, right? The staff is on their phone, kids over there doing what they want to do. There is no structure, there's no guidance, there's no curriculum going on, right?
So you telling me that if I had 13 kids, you gave me this book.
That's right.
I can take an hour out of my day and have a curriculum.
That's right. That gives you an hour worth of program. They call it program.
Program. I can get 14 of these books for my students. It's just
and you got a month worth of programming. And then what's dope is they can take it home, right? It's a book, right? Man, do you know how many times I'm in a space, man, where people come in and give these kids a little paperwork? You know where the paper go?
Trash.
Yeah. You see what I'm saying? They're not throwing this away because they're writing in it. Right, they're journaling in it. Right,
it's crazy when I look through this, and this is the older me saying this, and I wish I did to myself. I write a lot. I just took the notepad out of my paper, and what this does when you read it, it took me a second to read it when I was in it because I didn't want to know about myself or know, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's always scary, right?
Yeah.
But I realized if I start taking notes and I look back and read that chapter again, I started saying, did I change? How much did I change?
Wow.
Dang, I can't believe Aaron said that.
Yeah.
I can't believe I was that dumb.
Yeah.
Or whatever. And it's like, oh, I'm learning, I'm growing, I can share this with others. So.
Showed your elevation, right? You know what I'm saying? Like I said, Teddy's in the book, man. This man's stories, it's crazy, right? Kid from Hallville, right? You know what I mean? And look at him now, right?
Hey, I used to go sit in back of the car. I was 16, 17. They get the venue. This is when promotion was a full-time hustle. That's kind of why I get confused now. Like, you had to get the venue. You had to get the girls to look cool. You had to, even if they had staff, you had to bring some staff in to look good. You had to
find some security.
You had to get the flyer. You had to get somebody to control the parking lot. You had to work with PD. Most of the time, they didn't like us.
That's right.
And then we had to have
Nardi Bader. What was her name? He just come shut us down. I was like,
And then you got to have a successful 5 hours.
That part. But we used to kill him though.
Yeah.
We used to get Teddy's still running, right? You know what I mean? Like that's my thing. Like I've always kind of like been behind the scenes, right? You know, when you're a silent investor, that's what it means. You're a silent investor, right? You can't run around and take credit for things that you invested in when you're just a silent investor, right? But that's how I've been able to stay afloat in the game of life, man, is investing in other people, right? Letting them chase their dreams, right? Yeah. You know, help fund their dreams, you know. Some work, some don't, right? But, you know, it's time for me to say, hey, you know, my circle, my crew, my family, you know, man, my community, you know, put some behind me, you know, invest in me, man, cause this right here, this, you know, I've never been a local joker. You know what I'm saying? I always took my campaign across the nation, right?
So how can, cause I'm sold. That's even why we doing it, you know. But like, come on in, G. Look, people see us on the pod. How can we? If I paid and got 14 books, right? Is there other things you'll do? Shout us out on the social media,
right?
Because I know some funders only want to look back. They might say, "Here go $1,000. Just make sure every school you go to."
I'm name dropping.
I'm name dropping
all day
on
man,
the brochure. You know what I mean? Are you okay with that?
I'm giving up all that. Any space to any whatever they want. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, listen, whatever they want, they can have. You know, that doesn't mean nothing to me, right? Well, you know, what means something to me is that you helping the campaign, right? But yeah, of course I'm gonna shout you out for helping, right? You know, I'm not, like I said, I've always been the humble dude. I never wanted to know. I never wanted to be in the know, right? But I guess when you do this type of work, you have to be in the know, right? Yeah. So I'm just like, okay, hey, vote, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't running for mayor. Hey, I damn near should, but you know what I mean? Just, vote, man. My campaign is strong. And like I said, Indianapolis is only a part of the mission, man, because it's black kids all over the country that can't read, right? So I would love to get in with the NFL.
Speaking of, because we're talking about kids that can't read, and I think you hit on it earlier, but I want you to let the people know, like, where is this book at already? Like, the schools, the programs, the things that, you know what I mean?
I'm already tied in
over
with
the year, because it's already in people's hands too. Let's make sure people know that they're not just investing into you today to make you look nice or whatever. No, this stuff is already going. It's already out. This is just a new approach to say, hey, y'all, this is really me. Help this mission. Let's keep it going. That's what we on. Help me help your kids. To help your life. So
look, worked with over 400 kids last year, right? From school systems to park recreation facilities and things like that. Other non-for-profit organizations, I work with a lot of them because, they got the kids. I went over there and do the programming with their kids. I've done stuff with the Fever, done stuff with the Pacers, right? Man, the juvenile, the boys' school. I'm already active, right? This is why I won the Philanthropist of the Year award, right? I'm already extremely active. It's just now that, I can't do it by myself, right? Everything that I'm doing it out of my own pocket, right? You know what I'm saying? And it's okay. I'm not, I'm not tripping, right? This everybody thinks that this is a non-for-profit, which it is, but I don't get no funding, right? You know what I'm saying? So everything has come out of my pocket. So I'm trying to get people to understand that black people, especially black business people, right? This is a write-off that's important. White folks do this all the time.
So how can somebody
you go onto the website,
or even though is it as limited, somebody can buy one book per child or something like?
If you want to just buy one book, go to Amazon.
Okay.
Right? Or call me. I'm like E40. I'm at the trunk. You know what I'm saying? I keep a box of books in the trunk, right? And I have a lot of people who want to support and just buy a book just because it's me. But I'm like, I don't want you just to buy a book because it's not for us. It's not for the adult, right? You know what I mean? I need you to buy books for the kids, right? You know what I mean? Don't buy a book just to be supporting me. Say, I'm buying this. I'm gonna buy a book of 10, and I'm gonna take it to my son's AAU coach, right? When we used to go hoop, man. We used to go to these spots when I was growing up, and they would talk to you for like 15, 20, 30 minutes, right? Before we hoop.
Yeah, before you hoop.
Before we hoop. You know what I'm saying? This is that. This that same conversation, right? It can be an hour long if you wanted to, right? But it can be 30 minutes if you wanted to, right? This just gets the conversation started, right? So like that's what people got to realize. It's not about my program. I want the book at your program. I want the book at your school, right? I don't have to be there. I don't. It doesn't have to be about me. It's not about me. Yeah. It's about the book and the conversation that the book start for you. Hey, mom, you single? You got 4 kids, 3 boys. Baby daddies is locked up. You don't know how to talk to your son from a male's perspective. This book, it helps you get that conversation. Hey, preacher, you know what I mean? You got kids that you can't seem to reach. This book can help you reach them kids, right? This is a product that you can use as a tool to reach a kid, right? In conversation, but you have to read it to even have the conversation. And once again, these kids can't read, right? They can't spell, bro. So that's the biggest pitch of it all. Kids can't read, but they can't read because they're not given anything that they want to read. Correct. Like I said, I didn't want to read the stuff in school. I didn't care about none of that stuff, right? So what were we doing in school? We was reading the Slam magazine. At the desk, reading Slam. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Teacher talking. Man, you know what I mean? Let me get the sports section of the newspaper. Let me see how many points Ted had at Ben Davis last night. You know what I'm saying? Straight up. Like, you don't want to read that stuff. But so this gives them something they want to read, that they also learn something, right? It's not just reading about dumb stuff, right? They're reading stuff that they can actually take with them, life skills, right? It was like we said, debating skills, right? Like being able to stand behind your opinion. Yep. And stand on it. Hey, man, you ain't got to change your opinion because the rest of the room thinks this way and you think that way.
We just debating it out.
That's it.
That's the difference.
So we cover hygiene, man. I cover money, man. I cover black history. I cover, man, remember the movie Last Dragon, The Glow. You got to have the glow, man. Who's the master? They showed up. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm saying? So, like, man, it's crazy, too, man. Like, the kids don't even know black history. right? You know what I'm saying? Like they didn't watch Boys in the Hood or, you know what I mean, Poetic Justice. Like any of the movies that kind of like helped raise us a little bit, right?
That set the tone. Hey, what's that song? Sorry for my language, but you know what that song starts? It's the nigga that's act hard, and you know that was a drive-by about that,
right.
because the movies and the things like those, we disconnected so much. And I hate to get rid of the drive-by aspect, but
It's just
that's
real.
how the movies taught us. It was the sounds, it was things that our nerves and systems picked up on. They call it hood smart and book smart. You know what I mean? That's when you start getting
right. That's right. You got to have both.
You got to have both.
And I talk about that in the book.
Yeah.
So instead of, I say from the crack house to the White House, right? You know what I mean? Because you got to be able to conduct yourself in both settings, right? Because most African-American males, you know, we have grandparents or aunties or somebody who's going to still live in the inner city. No matter how successful we done became, our grandparents still live in the inner city, right? So you still have to be able to go over there and conduct yourself how you need to conduct yourself. Mm-hmm. But also, if you're in corporate America and you're trying to do that direction, you need to be able to conduct yourself like at the White House, right? So you know what I mean. So you have to have both. We call it 2 degrees, right? You got to have the street degree and the school degree, right? You know what I mean? And that's how you can become untouchable, in a sense, right? You know, but as a black man, we always are going to be a threat, right? You know what I mean? They don't want to see us winning. You know, be black. You know what I mean? And I'm pro-black, but I'm not racist. You'll catch that on the way home too, like the pastor say. You know what I mean? I'm pro-black. I'm not racist. I'm going to say it one more time. I'm not racist, but I am pro-black.
For our people, man. How would you be against it?
That's it, man. Because, you know, like I tell people all the time, Martha Stewart went to jail. She went to jail. And so Donald Trump might go to jail, right? And the politic system in jail is different. But you're only one move away from going there, right? If you go to prison, blacks with blacks, white with white, Mexicans with Mexicans, you my homeboy, white boy, you my mans, but hey, man, if the riot jump off, I might not stab you. You know what I mean? But I got to stab somebody because my race say I got to. So, you know, we're not racist. We're just pro-black, right? You know what I mean? And so, and that might be a little bit far left, man. But that's where my mind be at, man.
I got another question, too,
Talk to
man. So what advice sound good, but actually is dangerous for young people in the level up? Right? I got to put the pressure back on you for writing the book. Mm-hmm. So, like, I read it again. What advice sounds good, but it's actually dangerous to young people in leveling up? And I give you an example. Remember earlier we were talking about, in our communities, it's like when you getting it, bro, don't let nobody know how you got on. You know what I mean? Like, that's kind of a dangerous. Yep. And then, we in a field now, if we want to level up, you almost got to, bro, this what I got going, I got this, I'm helping this. Right, so
I hate to be like that.
I hate to be like
this.
So
this is way out of conception.
So is there some? I know I might have answered my own question by asking it, but is there some good advice that's actually dangerous for the youth while they leveling up? And that could be business, that could be in their hustle.
Man, that's a great question.
Because we always want mentors, and we always want somebody to tell us what's right and wrong, and then it's like, damn, that little kid is a street nigga. He ain't no book smart, so. It's dangerous telling them, don't get your don't find out how to grind, because the grind, he might think he sounds good, but he's really learning how to start a lawn care business, right?
There you go.
Yeah. And those are the dangerous things about telling the black man. Like I said, I might be answering the question, but you see where I'm going with it.
I love it. That's real. So like to kind of like piggyback on like what you're saying, right? So I'm the same way. Like when I talk to kids, I'm not trying to change them. If you a hustler, be the best hustler you can be. I'm not here to say don't hustle, right? I'm not, but you're a robber. Be a robber. Be the best. So I'm here to make sure you're doing whatever you do right, and you're doing it with a standard, right? Because even if you was in the other lifestyle, there's still a code. There's still a standard you need to abide by.
Kids don't get touched. The women. There's a lot of things. It's just
that's it, and it's still, and that's not trickling down no more.
Yeah,
because you can see how. But I be at school, man. The boys be fighting the girls, like not like literally.
No, when I came to talk at the school,
you seen it on the bus.
On the bus, I'm like, I thought it was 2 dudes going.
We had to break up a fight. Security didn't even.
What was that, Warren? Was we at Warren? I hate to call the school. We leaving.
We got to jump in the bus to break the fight up before the little police people get there, right? And we broke it up with no problem, but it was just crazy to see the boy fighting the girl like she's a boy. They was bumping, right? So that's what I'm saying, man. Our standards have gotten out of control, man, you know what I mean? So we got to figure that out, right? So like I said, but I'm not here. I'm not there to change them. Yeah. I'm just there to kind of like, okay, you a killer. You want to be a killer? You in the guns and all that? Cool. Go be paid to be a killer. Go join the military. Be a Marine or something, right? You know what I'm saying? The things that we do in the street, it's a legal lane.
Yeah.
You know, they talk about hustling. I be like, man, they be like, man, I talk about, okay, you a hustler, okay, cool. Who the biggest drug dealer in the world? They be like, Escobar, da, da, da. I said, nah, man. The biggest drug dealer in the world is downtown. They're like, what? Who? How? Huh? I'm like, yeah, the biggest drug dealer in the world is downtown. Who are you talking about?
You talking about locked up? Huh?
I'm like, Lilly. You never heard of Eli Lilly? Had the kids still, man, Lily's is one of the biggest sponsors for non-for-profits, right? They give out so much money. And these kids still don't know who Lily's is.
They going to school probably off of that.
Off the Lilly money.
Free lunches and shit.
All that. And that's what I'm saying. Like, people don't understand that just giving money.
You come back,
just giving money and all that, you still don't reach the kid, right? They still don't know who you are, right? You know what I mean? But like, so I'm like, yeah, Lily's is the biggest drug dealer in the world. They be like, what? I said, go trap house out. You gonna make 6 figures and you ain't gotta worry about nothing. You know what I mean? So you know.
Well, the janitor at Lilly probably eat.
He eating too. You know, everybody eat, man. But they say everybody eats, B. Everybody eats. You know what I mean? And so that's, you know, so them were some of the things that I kind of like, you know, I had some kids that was stealing cars and stuff, man. I went on and got them a Papa Lock company, right? LLC, right? You know, use what we do and just make it legit. You know what I mean?
Man, I'm glad that we didn't get out here before I asked this. Do you already have some things coming up? You got a calendar for 2026? I know it's kind of early in the winter, but there are some ways that I know we talked about selling the book and things, but there's some people, you said time. There's some people that ain't got money. So there's events, any classes that you host that people can come volunteer. They can come look and see what you do to maybe go share with their network. I know a lot of people that work in corporate businesses, they might not have the dollar.
That's right.
But we invite them
the
in
time
a room.
to come. It's right.
They can go back to their team. And
we got plenty of opportunities for that. Just go to the website, reach out to me, connect with me. And
what's the website?
Y2Ystars.com. Y2Ystars.com. You go in
Basically
there, man.
Same like
you can get all my contact information. I'm not hard to find. You know what I mean? My office is at P30 on the east side. I'll be at West at 16 Tech with the No Days Off crew. And you know what I'm saying? So we just, I'm not hard to find. You know, yes, please come help. I mean, I'm in several different spaces through all year. You know, like today I had a meeting, you know, with the health department. You know, they're trying to start sending kids from the IMPD sector. They've been shot, you know, to my direction, right? So, you know, I'm active, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'm steady active. But like I said, you know, I just need help, man. You know, as far as funding. You know what I mean? And like I said, I expect us to do that, right? Man, let me take you back to this scene, man. You know, we all grew up on The Wire, right? You know what I'm saying? There was this scene in The Wire.
And if y'all haven't, go look on HBO. It's an older flick. Look up The Wire. The
Wire. It's a must see. You must see all 6 seasons. A must see. It was a scene where this guy OG, man, he got out of prison, whatever, and they wanted he was a hitman, right? And he didn't want to do it no more, right? He wanted to start helping kids, so he wanted to start a boxing gym, right? Didn't have no funding, so he went to the hustler that wanted him to become a hitter again. Was like, hey man, I don't want to do that, but you know, I want to help these kids. Woo, woo. He's going into this spiel on how, you know, if you know, I need this, I need that. And so the dude was like, man, Barksdale, the dude that was Avon Barksdale, who plays A Boogie in Paid in Full, right? He says, man, how much money you talking about, man? And dude was like, man, like $15,000. They laughed at him. They was like, man, go get that man $25,000, man. Take care of them little homies, little. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm looking for them cats, right? We're the cats that get down like that, right? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Who got an extra 5 ball, right? You got an extra 5G sitting around that you would waste at the club anyway.
I mean, y'all, you know, especially if y'all paying taxes. You know what I mean? This is a nice way to write that off. This especially is, you could turn your taxes into a marketing budget. You know what I mean? There's different ways.
That part.
And we're giving it away anyway, so why not give it away to keep the money cycling in our community?
That's my point.
You feel me?
That's my point. Like, it's like I said, if we wasn't so frivolous with our money and just jacking it, I wouldn't even be like, you know, send some this direction. But since, man, hey, man, Naptown, man, we be clowning, right? The car game is silly, right? We getting our gear together, people dropping new clothing lines, people opening up, you know, new stores, man. We got rest. The black community is coming around. At one point, man, you know, I used to dog in Indianapolis, man, because I would go across the country and we didn't have the same black economy.
For real.
Right? You know what I'm saying? And it seems like we're coming around. You know, thank God for a lot of them home health care companies. And we appreciate the home Medicaid. We love you. You know what I'm saying? But you know, so Indianapolis as a community is coming. Black community is coming around, and we had a Step It Up shoe store right on Lafayette Road, 3600. Shout out to Sam, Tez, and everybody drunk, everybody. That's when I realized the Black Dollar wasn't here. Right, we opened up Step It Up the same day that the Athlete Foot opened up on Lafayette Road too. Like they was like on maybe what's that?
Yeah, I was
Pike
right on that
Plaza.
corner, right?
We was on Lafayette Road, 3600 Lafayette Road,
I was
across
right in that
from the
corner.
strip club.
Yeah.
But the Athletic Foot was around the corner on 46 and Pike Plaza in Lafayette Road, right? And then Got Soul. It was in Broad Ripple, right? We all
That
opened
was
up.
PA now, right?
We all opened up at the same time. You know, we went for the black customer, right? You know, us, right? We painted all the NBA players that made it to the NBA on the wall. They came in, signed the wall, right? You know, Jordan gonna keep the door open no matter what, right? Jordan, but we talking about profitable, right? That's when I noticed that the Black Dollar wasn't really here, right? Because if you're only marketing to black people, you're only marketing to 17% of Indianapolis, right? 17% of Indianapolis is black, right? Out of that 17%, how many are buying shoes or going to the club, right? So you gotta say from 2 to 13, they're not buying nothing or going out doing nothing, right? That their parents are not providing for. And then you gotta say like 54 and up, they're not going out spending. So now you only got from the age 14 to 50 that you can even like market to, right? If you're only marketing to black people,
Correct.
right? So we ended up closing. We went about 3 years. The Athlete Foot maybe went like 3.5, but Got Soul got like an 8-9 year run because their audience was a mixed crowd.
Because they
right?
ended up got moving locations and went to the mall and.
Broad Ripple. It started out from Broad Ripple, but like I said, they had the whole city could come, right? Kind of like the Vogue, right? The whole city can come, right? You know what I mean? But then when you just market to us, you know, it's a different money line.
Limit
right?
yourself, man.
You limit yourself.
I
hate to say that. In this, but now it's changing.
Can I add something to this?
Come on,
I
talk
know
to
you've
me.
been on, but this is me now. So I'm having a conversation with like the Hallville community people and things like that. And this is I'm biting my own words, but I'm not because hear me out. I always said it takes the hood to save the hood.
That's it.
But when I go back to the hood, who can save me?
Woo, man.
Like, you know what I mean? Like realistically,
That's
like
right.
the pastors is trying to figure it out. Like if the pastor can work with me, once they find out, it's 200 other people, right? Like like I said, if I went to Pastor Cummins in that friendship, let's be honest.
Right.
So now, what some of us had to do is understand that we have to use the resources to help each other, but we have to go out and get these resources. We have to explore the world. Somebody, 1, 2, 3, 4, to bring this back to the community for us to spread. You know what I mean? So that's what get left out too. Like that whole. You know, I think what you say about being racist. Like I'm not racist, but
Yeah, I'm pro-black.
yeah, and it's both. Like I'm gonna take y'all money to feed my people if I got to, and that's just the way it goes. And so, with that being said, so we don't have to be that way. Us as black people, I think that's where yours going. You know what I mean? Help your people out.
That's it.
Protect the business. You're a
That's it.
nonprofit, right?
Yeah, nonprofit.
So him being a nonprofit, your money is still moving. Once again, you could put that money to the side for a marketing budget or just to be seen somewhere. Yeah, I'm sure it's a business somewhere, a technology company that want to be seen. Aaron can wear your T-shirt
That
every
part.
time he goes
That's
speak at
right.
the school.
That's right.
All you have to do is
That's right.
purchase 14 books
That's
for a
right.
program. You know
That's
what I mean?
right.
And now you actually started a program in your company's name.
That's it.
Because now we could go to the Ant, we can go to Peacock.
That's
We
it.
don't got to be at a school.
Seeing us on your
we can
behalf.
come to your neighborhood.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
can pick where we coming. You see what I'm saying? I would love to be pulling up at Brightwood.
And you hear,
Oh,
you
man.
hear I keep saying we, Napshots is gonna cover the moments.
That
man.
part.
Whatever
That
we
part.
got to do to
Yeah.
highlight these things. So
I love it.
Yes,
bro.
sir, it comes with all that, sir. You know what I mean? So
and that's and also to piggyback on that, right? Because we say in the hood, right? But now I've been going into like the corporate spaces, right? And what I've been seeing and learning is that black folks, we still don't have the final say. We might be at the table, we might be in the room and might try to persuade the final say, but we don't have the final say, right? You know what I mean? And so even the corporate American cats, right? The bankers and the real estate agents, and the guys that do the white collar business. Hey man, their companies give money, right? A lot
And
of
they like knowing it's coming.
And-
Every quarter almost. Like,
Bro.
I hate to.
bro.
It's like, damn, y'all just know you getting 15,000 from. Man, we trying to struggle to get hot dogs next season. Y'all know it's coming.
Come on, a lot of the companies will match what you donate,
Yep.
right? So if you donate $100, your company will donate $100 in your name, right? You know what I'm saying? So like we have to use some of the tools that are out there for us because they use them. Hey, my white associates that got non-for-profits, man, you see the other white guy at Hamptons got busted with the million. You know what I'm saying? They just ran through $1 million, right? Got caught scamming, right? You know what I mean? But that's just how much money that they're willing to donate, right, to each other. With us, man, you know, I got an argument with a cat the other day over $20.
Probably petty 20.
Man, $20. I said, man, how we gonna argue over $20, man? And we chasing $250,000. What you gonna do? What you gonna do when it's a $10,000 argument? You know what I'm saying? If you jumping off the bridge at $20, what you gonna do if it's $10,000? You gonna kill me?
We just had one of them moments, boy.
Come on, bro. You know what I mean? So it's just that
one
with
of them
it.
moments.
It's just that with it, man. You know, I'm just trying to like I said, man, you know, reach a space and reach the social world, I guess is what they call it, man. You know what I mean? Like I said, I ain't really for the camera flashing and all that, man. You know what I mean? I've always just been a low key cat, but I got to step out and let people know, man, this is what we doing now, right? You know what I mean? So everybody, you know what I mean? You know, first of all, if you owe me, act like you know me. First of all,
You know what that means.
Yeah, you know what that means, man. You know, you owe me, act like you know me, man. But other than that, man, like I said, man, $250,000, $500,000, that ain't no money for you know what I'm saying, for you to, like I said, you could buy the books and you could tell me where you want me to go.
For real.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not ducking and dodging, right? You know what I mean? Like, you know, this ain't a scandal, right? You know what I'm saying? This is you know, I'm open. It's an open book. So check out the Instagram, Y2Y Stars, man. I document everything I do each month, man. You know what I mean? So you can see that I'm not on no fugazi, right? You know what I mean? This is all from the heart, man. That's why they call me Love, man. You know, one thing about it, you don't make your own nicknames up, right? The streets gave me the nickname Love, right? So you know what I mean? Obviously, that's what they see.
Yes, sir.
Right? You know what I mean? Because it was never a time, man, that you couldn't come and get something from me if I had it. You know what I'm saying? So you know, just remember that. You feel me?
Yeah. So let me see. You see, we've been going for a minute too. I didn't realize we've been talking.
We just chopping it up.
No, that's good. So I was trying to think, what else? We talked about events. We talked about community. We talked about you, the book, how to get involved. I'm trying to think. Y'all know No Days Off, man. We just getting better every day. So we're trying to make sure we highlight this moment. And this was on the fly too. Cuz came, he called.
Yeah.
I need the link.
Yeah.
We was going to do some promo stuff, which we're still going to do. It's going to lead from this. But it's like, let's talk. Tell the story. Let's get used to being comfortable. Because once again, he's the type of guy that either you know him or you don't. You know what I mean? Maybe in passing you hear the name.
That part.
But yeah, put a face to it. You know what I mean?
Put a face to it, right? You know
From
what I
the
mean?
young stars. Or from the youngsters. Sorry,
Come on,
I ran
man.
from the bottom to the top. I said it. I looked at the bottom first.
This man's in the book. Can't even say the name right, man. Y2Y, man. Youngsters to young stars, man. Youth understood, needing game. Start turning around race.
He said young people can't read, right?
Right, that quick. That's another.
I guess I'm showing it. No, but it's real. We got to read books. And once again, this is a thing that you could take notes. You can program. You can do it with your family.
That's right.
I think that you hit on something heavy. Baby mamas that's going through something. Right. They got the boys.
That's
you know
right.
What I mean? This is a journal for you.
Household. It needs to be there. You know, I was thinking like me. You know, I used to work at the strip club. I was a DJ at the strip club, whatever. And I was like, man, you know what? I should have some of the strippers start trying to promote it, right? You know what I mean? But then you be like, then you get to corporate America. They like, you might not want that to be a part of your brand. But my thing is this, man. I don't. You know, being a serial entrepreneur, you always go against the grain, right? So you know what I mean? I'm like, man, why I don't want to have to box myself in.
But who kids?
They're the kids that need it, right?
Because if you go to, not knocking it, but if you go to Fisher's or something,
the kids don't need. That's another thing.
I don't want to.
That's it, bro.
Take away from who they are, but you probably getting taught some of these things.
That's it. Come on.
Hopefully, your parents got some structure.
That's it. They don't need me. That's another reason why I left. I didn't stay in Fisher, bro. I came back to the community, right? Because they was like, man, Tim and Johnny don't need me. But Lil Ray, he need me, right?
Gotta go where you call.
Yeah, he needs to see a black man who could be successful, right? You know what I mean? And show them integrity, right? And show them how to be just a decent man with some standards in class, right? You know what I mean? So you hit it. That's a good point, man. You know, the book is for the kid that needs it.
Yeah, it's not just a book for anyone. And I think
Right.
that's the selling, you know what I mean? Like, we all could put something out, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
But is this something somebody needs?
That part.
And obviously finding a solution in the world. This is a solution.
That's it. Gotta
thing-
find a problem.
One thing I know about getting money too.
You feel me?
Anything if there's a problem, find a solution. So this does that, man. So I don't want to keep you all day because we definitely gotta pod more. We got some videos and some things to get to. But is there anything else that we left out? Is there something to look out for? I know you should mention how to get the book again.
Amazon. You or go to the website y2y2ystars.com. But man, I really would want you to just holler at me. You know what I mean? Like, my number information is on the website. You know, man, I'm pretty sure you can see my flyers everywhere. Like, I'm in a lot of spaces, right? You know what I mean? So I'm not really hard to find, but I am hard to find, but I ain't hard to find, right? But just know that I want to collab, right? I want. Shout out to Zeke, right? He's a cat in New Era, Detroit, man, who kind of got the same thing I got going on. He doesn't have a book, but man, his movement is stupid.
They
right?
got like 100, 200,000 followers.
The man's movement is stupid, right? And what I've noticed about Indianapolis community as well. Not saying that, you know, our athletes and our stars and our people don't do nothing. I'm not saying that, man, because everybody's doing what they do. But it seems to me what I've seen when I've traveled across the country, things like cats in Chicago, if you don't give back, they hurting you.
Yeah.
No.
Can I piggyback because we
Come
might
on.
have to change the culture in a way.
That's right.
Because if Mike Tyson is saying superstars don't go to Indiana, if you 50, I can't say 50 Cent because they're giving him something to say something about Indiana, but there's a lot of powerful people in the black culture who's been wrecked.
Here.
Tupac,
That's right.
Black Expo
That's
stuff,
right.
the young kids losing Black Expo.
That's right.
Indiana politics.
That's
So
right.
It's like we got to rechange that culture because the things is here, or I wouldn't even say the culture, because the culture is here. It's the narrative around the culture.
It's the narrative, bro. It's the narrative. We just need to do more for us. So when I was talking about New Era Detroit, Jalen Rose, Chris Webber, Robert Traylor, some of the OGs who made it in the NBA are funding him, right? This man now is going across the whole country. He pulling up in a almost like a tour bus, pulling up, dropping toys off, man, I need to take his work out, man.
Yes,
the man's crazy. And my thing is like, why can't we be like that? Like, why can't an organization out of Indiana be like that, right? And I'm willing to be like that. I'm willing to travel the country, man, because like I said, the whole country, black kids can't read.
I
Period.
believe, you know what I believe though? I'm glad we did this today because I think there's somebody looking for somebody like you.
That part.
It's a lot of people in a way that has gave a full description about saving 36,000 kids, and
Right.
we got this program, and then we're gonna get their haircut, and then they can't connect with grandma. How long they gonna get the kids? So, yeah, man,
I can't connect with grandma.
you can't even connect with grandma because if the little nigga a hothead, I'm sure grandma ain't too.
Right.
So if you can't even connect to the adult version of that little man or woman, it's gonna be hard to get to them. So what me saying, I was throwing a shot at people who can't connect with their community, and this guy can. So yeah, once again, I don't want to be talking your head off. I know we've been out here for a minute. We said a lot.
That part.
That
part.
I think-
I appreciate it, though. I appreciate you giving me the space to do this, right? Because like I said, I normally don't get down like this in front of the camera, right? But
Hopefully it's more. Hopefully this ain't the last.
I mean, if they want it, I give it to them, right? You know what I'm saying? But I don't have time to waste, right?
Hey, this might be a good topic or a good headline for a podcast.
From youngsters to young stars.
Yeah, and just
Hey, man,
talking to some of the people, and some of the and this might be a year, months from down the line, but then you can start talking to the students as they becoming men.
That's right.
The women. You feel
So
me?
my follow-up game is crazy.
Yeah.
Right? So if you've been in my program, like I said, I keep up with you. Right? You know what I'm saying? Like, I send kids to prom. Right? You know what I mean? Send kids off to college. Man, I help with college decisions. What college you going to go to? Right? Or what are you going to do when you graduate high school? What job are you going to? Matter of fact, I'm going to connect you with somebody to get you where you want to go. You know what I mean?
Different.
So that you know what I mean? So I'm all the way hands-on, right? I use my network so silly with it, right? You know what I mean? Like, so the Y2Y program is different from the Y2Y book, right? Because the Y2Y program, you get me.
Yep.
It's included, right? But the book is also, like I said, the book was for your program to have programming, right? This, you guys are getting the funding, right? The non-for-profits that do get funding, you have to spend them funds, right? You know what I mean? This is giving you something else to spend funds on, bro. You know what I mean? This thing, right? My partners in Chicago, man, they buy $200-300 at a time, because it's a part of, their stipend, whatever,
Yeah.
right? You know what I'm saying? It fits their program, right? So just think, man. It's not only beneficial as far as you're reaching the kids and all that, but it also is beneficial for you in your funding, right? If you're getting funding, because if you don't spend it, they'll take it from you next year.
Yeah.
Right, so this is another way for you to have to spend some of your funding, right? You're spending it with a black man, right? You're spending it with somebody who you actually know. You know what I mean? Period. And you ain't really spending it with me. I mean, you spending it with Amazon. You know what I'm saying? It's not like I don't touch the money. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not a cash or the. Now, if you catch me in the street, I'm like, you 40.
Different.
Yeah, I got him in the trunk.
Yes, it's like selling CDs back in the day. Yeah, but this episode wasn't about like the motivation. This is more accountability.
Yeah, that's it.
Help your community.
That's it.
We got to hear purpose.
That's
what
it.
else we knows? We got to hear how to become from a youngster to a young star.
And to do that, you got to have game, right?
You gotta have game.
And what was game? Remember what game? The acronym for
You're
game
not about
was?
to make me look.
GAME. General amount of money earned. GAME. That's your game. How you? Yeah.
I was just gonna say money earned.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
However you make your money, young star, man, that's your game, right? You know what I mean? Like I say, you learning this from a pimp, right? You know what I mean? But but it's different.
And you see his teacher skills again. He just, hey, we did all this talking. You remember what I said, right?
Yeah, that part.
And if not, he didn't get mad at me either. He just continued to
That's
teach.
right. That's right.
And for educators and leaders, you gonna learn something right there, man. People don't know what you know all the time.
That's right. You gotta
take
keep
your
on
time
putting. That's right.
Keep pushing and pushing and pushing. So,
They say it takes 7 times to hear something before you register, before you lock it in.
and it might
times.
not be 7 times that day, like 7 different, different times.
Different times, yeah, bro. So, but I want to make sure you understand, don't nobody take my trademark, man, because like I said, I took the pimping from PIMP, put it in my pocket, to professional and motivating people. Right, you know what I'm saying? It's like, if I could motivate a chick to get out there and get to that bread, I know I can motivate a youngster to become a young star, right?
Yes, sir.
So I took what I used to do in the devil's, what they say the devil's world, you know what I'm saying? And now I'm doing, what they say God's work, right? You know what I mean? So just that right there. But like I said, when I was on the little Zoom meeting today with the lady, with Dr. Hood, she was talking about she's helping kids that have been shot, right? And I told her, I said, I was one of the kids that got shot. Right, you know what I mean. So sometimes you have to go through it to get to it. Right, a lot of people try to help kids who haven't went through it. So the kids don't even want to pay attention to them because you ain't even went through it.
You're just talking.
You're just talking. And like I said, once again, when they appreciate you coming out and telling your story and being, a part of whatever you're trying to be a part of. But at the end of the day, you know what I mean? They're only gonna, listen and respond to people that they, feel has their same walk, right? Has their same vision.
Just like the music you listen to.
That's it.
Just like the TV show you listen to. If you play video games, you don't be in a game chat with niggas that you don't, relate with or have.
That's right.
You get in game chats and
with the circle of people that talk and act like you. That's right.
Yeah.
And so that's it. You know what I mean? And that's what we about, man. Like I said, but my main focus is just getting the black male community to start reading. That's my main focus, right? Because, hey, man, most people don't read a book till they go to jail. Literally. Casto, most black men don't read a book. They read their first book in prison or a city, county jail. Period, point blank. I stand on it, right? But, man, there's so many gems and jewels in these books. Right? And they always say, if you want to hide something from a black man, put it in the book. Put it in the damn book, right? So I'm trying
I just heard a white guy say that earlier.
Yeah,
He was like, you know what they said about y'all.
Yeah, because we don't read. But just like anything else in life, you got to start, you got to do it. You have to find a way to enjoy what you're doing, right? So when I first started reading, I wasn't reading self-help books, Give and Take or 10X or Richest Man in Babylon, stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? I was reading Why the White Guys Get to Have All the Fun, by black man wrote, the first black man, black billionaire wrote that book, Reginald. Get your last name Reggie, man. But you know, first black billionaire. He wrote a book. Why does white men get to have all the fun, right? But you know, I started off reading like 50 Cent books, Nicki Turner books, Zayn books, right? Books that kind of like are like movies, right? So it got me used to reading, right? It's just like basketball. You gotta get used to the layup first before you start dunking, right? Get your fundamentals together.
And you answered a question too. I was gonna ask you what made you get into reading, but these last 5 minutes, like how, right? And then I know we got to run soon, but for a person, I think, and you might have just answered it. If I haven't been locked up and I'm not motivated to read a book, is there any words of encouragement or? Because now I can say, F a book, I can get on Google. F a book, I can do ChatGPT. F a book, I'm smarter than y'all. Y'all don't know nothing.
Man, if first of all, man, if you so game goofy that you relying on AI for everything, you done lost already. And I know they saying AI gonna take over the world, which it is, right? But look how dumb you're about to be. You're about to be. Our world is about to be dumber. Like it's a fact right now.
I mean, it can't move without the computer.
It's a fact right now. This is the dumbest generation ever in America. From like kids 16 and below, and younger, are the dumbest we ever been. Every generation used to be smarter than the next.
Yep.
Now it's going backwards.
It's going backwards.
It's good because it's too much technology. They said once they brought technology into the school, meaning like iPads and things like that, the level of everything has been going down. Attention span.
I think it was to eliminate teachers too, and it did. It's just now the problem that the computer can't control the human.
It's because computers, AI don't have what? They don't have emotion.
Yeah.
And they don't see.
Yeah.
The eye test is, man, I don't care what analytics say, man. You shouldn't have went for it on fourth down. You should have kicked the field goal and got the points. That was the old school way, right? How's the game, the momentum in the game, right? You know what I mean? AI analytics can't factor that.
But you know what AI gonna say? They're gonna give you a crazy percentage. They're gonna give you a story. They're gonna have you going for fourth.
And when you don't get it, you end up fired. It was 4 coaches over the last week of football got fired for going for it and not getting it. When they should have went on, just got the points, right?
And they was looking at the
look at AI. You know what I'm saying? AI tell them to do it. So that's how dumb we about to get, right? So yes, use AI, y'all. Use AI, but you need to read your books, man. Yep. You know what I mean? Because AI still can't give you them jewels that the book is going to have, man. Because AI doesn't have the wisdom. People wrote these books, right? Man, it's people now writing AI books. Man, it's AI singers, AI. I didn't realize how crazy AI is because your boy Matt Barnes and them got swindled out of money and stuff from AI chicks and stuff. Yeah. But if you look at it, it looks real.
I feel like the way to use AI, and everybody got their own opinion, but you got to mix real time with a suggestion. I feel like AI is an opinion. I feel like AI is suggesting things to do. That's why they give you multiple options. And the AI, most of the time, is ChatGPT. Some of these, and you got to watch the AI you're using.
That too.
You know what I mean? Some of these AIs are just built to be a toy, and you think you're getting. But once again, I think that's another topic we can talk about. But yeah, man, we about to have to close this out. Make sure y'all read. Make sure y'all pick up this book.
Yeah.
Aaron J. Smith is the author. Make sure y'all look him up on Amazon.
That's it.
Social media.
Y2Y Stars on Instagram. Y2Y Stars.
And it's the number 2.
Yeah, the number 2. Number 2 YStars.com was the internet, but the number 2 Y Stars on Instagram. That's the only thing I got is Instagram. I don't got Facebook, LinkedIn, TikTok, none of that. Don't want it. No, they everybody, man, you need to get this. Man, I don't want it.
Shameless plug.
You feel me?
This guy get books as a DJ too.
That's it.
And so he has to. And I keep carrying his on and on, but he went years and years and years of DJing.
Yep.
What was it? Your name is
DJ. I got it.
I remember the first time I seen DJ I Got It. I was like, this nigga took the hustle and made it a hustle.
Man, made a hustle. And once again, looking out for a homeboy. Right? It was his dream. He took over the Pure Passion. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I went to visit him one day. I'm like, man, who's DJing? Man, he got his phone up there. I said, man, I'm gonna come volunteer. I'm gonna come in, and now I've been DJing for 10 years, right? You know,
it's been that long.
Yeah, bro.
I remember when you first started.
Yeah, you feel me?
Like, it was just like, for real.
Yeah,
real?
I do it with no social media, none of that. You know what I mean?
DJing on the river.
Like, come on, bro. Like, hey, man, I'm
Floating stage, all
across the country DJing. Vegas, Houston, New York. You know what I mean? Like Tennessee, Atlanta. I done been up Fort Lauderdale, Orlando. I done been all over the country DJing.
I'm gonna say your presentation booked you.
That's it.
I'm not knocking a DJ.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of good DJs.
Like, man, I ain't know. I'm nowhere near
but
that DJ.
the
Nowhere
presentation, the table, any song. The number one rule that we see funny on Instagram is when you ask the DJ to play a song, how much of a problem it is.
That part. And
You know what I mean? Like,
they make it a problem, don't they?
That's a
Man, I'm here for you.
I'm gonna get you put out the club if you ask me again.
Man, that's
how
whack.
DJs
And that's
do.
whack. Man, that's
Ask me
whack.
again. You ain't gonna never come in this month.
They paying you for your services, man. But what you want to hear? Whatever you want. I got it coming up. That's why I'm DJ I got because I got the song.
I call them mixtape DJs. They already had that shit made before they got there.
A lot of these niggas do. A lot of these, yep. They make it look like they good. Yep, I've seen it. Like, I've seen that.
Put the headphone on.
Yep,
and shit.
they make it look like
They
they're
already
DJ.
had- they already
It's
had
already
those.
mixed in. It's a tape plan. It's a file plan.
You throw one song in and
You
throw
hear
it
it,
all.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's why they get so frustrated because you you
Throwing a little rhythm out.
I couldn't wait to say that. I've been in the club for them
Yeah,
20 years.
yeah,
I've been
bro.
watching it. Watts, I gotta give you credit for about.
Oh yeah, it's a lot
You
of
did
great
yours.
DJs, man.
Strict
You
gets a
know?
lot of y'all, but I have seen some DJs that got away with crime.
And I'm not a real DJ. I can't do no wiki, none of that. You know what I'm saying? But I can play you what you want to hear.
Yeah,
You
and that's
know
what people want.
Yeah, whatever you, I'm here for you. Whatever you want, that's what I'm playing, man. Because what I listen to, you probably ain't gonna listen to no way. 'Cause I want some game when I'm riding down the street. I can't listen to nobody I can't learn from. You know what I mean? Sorry, Boosie Badass, I can't learn nothing from you. I mean, so, but they want me to play it, I'm gonna play it, but you don't get no play in my ride. You know what I mean?
You ain't gonna learn too much.
So,
Boosie is all emotional music.
So, like I said, man, you gotta, I flex a lot of different, lot of different muscles on different hustles, right? You know what I mean? Like I said, I'm a serial entrepreneur, right? But a lot of things that I got into was just like I said, off of volunteering. Just like I was volunteering with kids my whole life, right? You know what I'm saying? Now I done turned it into a program, right? Like that's one thing I have learned. I'm gonna give you one Joel gem that I read, right? Because you gotta read. Most millionaires at least volunteer at least 4 times a year, right? And they do that not only to volunteer, but they say they make their new business connections while they're volunteering.
Who I need to invest in?
Well, not only that is that okay? You Judge Gaither, right? You're over the juvenile system, and I'm Y2Y, and we're at the Moselle Sanders Thanksgiving passing out plates together, right? I'm not meeting you as Judge Gaither, right? I'm meeting you as Mr. Gaither, right? You're not in your work mode. So now we're having a man-to-man conversation, like, a friendship type of conversation more than just a strictly business.
Yeah.
Because I'm not meeting you at your business location. I'm meeting you, we're both volunteering, we're both giving back. So it just opens the door up. You can get more done with a relationship than you can with money. I'm going to say that again. You can accomplish more with relationships than you can with money. Example, do you think Walmart buys all the products that they sell? No. They get fronted. All their products, they get fronted, right? They sell them, they send their money back to the person with
Amazon too.
Amazon too, right? So it's relationships. It's been times in the game where I can have a boatload of money and not have no connects, right? Can't buy myself into somebody's circle. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't have the relationship. I could buy. He'd rather front his homeboy some stuff than let me grab it because they have a relationship and I don't.
That's trust. You know what I mean?
Right, it's
community,
relationship, exactly.
that's
relationship.
It all goes. So
Yep.
basically, at the end of this too, once you learn how to read, you'll learn how to talk. You know what I mean? And you'll learn how to communicate. You'll learn what things think. And you also, when you read, you get to see how other people think, right? And I think we always going off of what we think, things like that. But yeah, man, this has been interesting
we could talk
hour and a half. I really don't know how long we've been recording.
Me neither.
But I think we're going to get a lot out of this. I think the people are too. And I would love to probably do this again right before the spring.
Yeah, whatever, man. We ain't hard to... Teddy, that's my man's. You know what I mean? Like I said, he's in the book, right? There's a lot of cats from the city in the book, man. I don't want to drop them because I want you to read the book. You know what I'm saying? And be like, man, that's my uncle. Oh, that's my cousin, right? And it'll trip you out, man, if your little cousin comes to you and say, hey, man, I just read about you in this book. You know what I'm saying? You're like, damn, I was in a book. Yeah, you in a book. You know what I mean? So fellas, I'm not even asking the women. I'm asking the fellas. Because one thing about I've noticed too, the sisters, man, they all in. Man, it's the black women are all in. It's the fellas that's being stingy. It's the fellas. Listen, fellas, mama can only do so much, right? Mama can only do so much. You need fellas. You need OG, cuz, whoever. We need y'all, man. I can't do it by myself, man. We need y'all, man. All right? Excuse me, I'm belching a little bit. We supporting 3 Floyd.
The zombie
The
dust.
the zombie dust. That's it. Once again, that's a plus of being an entrepreneur. You can have a beer at 2 in the afternoon. You know what I mean? Not knocking nobody who's at work right now, because you probably having a beer too, right? But
Most of them, especially in corporate field.
yeah,
Man,
corporate.
appreciate the pull-up.
Yeah. It's the cats that gotta work at Amazon that can't get a break, man.
Can't have headphones
Yeah,
on.
that's it. But yeah, peace, love, and happiness, man. Shout out to everybody else who's doing great work. Like I said, I'm not here trying to say I'm the best, none of that. I'm just saying, I'm just talking about what I do. You know what I mean? And I'm just saying, hey, look what we're accomplishing. What Y2Y is accomplishing with no financial backing, right? Without no really financial support, no grants, no sponsorships, nothing. Y2Y is doing this, without any of that, right? And we're making a dramatic impact, right? So just imagine what your donation, right? It could be called donations, right? You know what I mean? What your donation would be, you know what I mean? And like I said, if you donate and you buy a bundle of books, man, you can tell me where you want me to go. You know what I mean? So that way this is not no flugaze, no scam, no. You know what I'm saying? Like, but if you know me, you already know that's not. I ain't never been no shite, so you already know that. That's why I'm loved, right? You know what I mean? But yeah, y'all, mess with me, man. Talk to me, and I'll talk back for sure, right? And if you owe me, act like you know me, man, and donate something, man. You know what I'm saying? And then don't watch me, man. Watch TV, because this is pay-per-view, man. Church.
Yes, sir. So this is Y2Y.
Yeah.
And we tell Hardy with no days off.
No
man.
days off.
And this growth is the assignment, man.
That's it.
I hope y'all got that out there. We're growing. Black boys, start reading. Parents, tap in.
Yeah.
And if you're getting some bread and you got to pay your taxes, I think this would be a good
That's the
person
way to do it.
do business
That's
with.
right.
So that's how we're going to close out.
Yeah.
You got anything else before
No,
we get
I
out?
like how you said the tax
If
thing, right? You know what I mean?
if you owe taxes, you about to pay a lot of taxes, you got some things you need to write off, I think y'all can have a conversation. There's
Yeah.
nothing illegal about helping somebody help you.
That's it.
So yeah, that's how we're gonna close out. I think this is episode 5 for this podcast. We ain't putting nothing out yet, but I might air this one.
5, baby. 5 star.
Yes,
like
sir.
Gotti would say. You know what I'm talking about? Church.
So we good.
Yeah.